So my name is Mohammed Yunus, working with Sigmaplot for about 30 years, 3 decades, and fallen in love with this product. So kept on going with it. Anyway, so this is the main screen of Sigmaplot. You can see right now. Um, it has the data. It has the data tab. Usually, this is by default. You can go with the tabs. When you go and create something, a graph, then it will go under the tabs on the top. But you can change it if you go on the home screen and then change it to something cascade, then it will come up as a cascade and then put the stack on the top of each other, whatever you're trying to do. On the left side, we have the notebook manager on the left side, which keeps the organization of your notebooks. So each notebook would have the section could have the subsections or the data you can see right now. And that's how you start anything when you go file and then, press that top left button and then say new, then it will ask you to create a notebook, and then this is how it will be. And then you can see the second notebook is created, and that's how your organization goes. And that comes on the top of it. You can minimize it, or you can close it, whatever you want to do with it. So notebook would have the section would have the data, and data would have the all other child objects. So all other child objects are the child objects of the data. For example, the graph, the report, etc. And so let's talk about first about the help menu. Help is important in a sense. You can click on help, and then if you need to contact the support, then they may ask you what version of Sigmaplot you're running. You can click on about screen. It tells you what version of Sigmaplot you have. For example, this one is Sigmaplot 16 and build this build. Or your registration number, which is the serial number as well. That's the same thing. The serial number, registration number, that you can find it here as well. The second is important is the license status. License status is also important. The license utility, it tells you the very first screen, and it has a license activation tab. It tells you what version of Sigmaplot you're running, what type of license you have installed, if it is a perpetual, if it is a time limit license. License managers are actually sometimes your own machine or a machine. If you're running a network license, then it will say network over here, and that will the name of the machine which is running it from. The other is license information. This is also important in some areas. I'm not sure, it's not in Europe or US or Canada, but other parts of the country, they may need you to generate a C2V file, which we call it a machine fingerprint if you need to get a license. So in that case, what you will do, you will come over here and under the license information, just save C2V as a tab and then put it somewhere. And then it will put a C2V file. And that's what you need to save it out and then send as attachment to your vendor. And then in return, you will get a V2C file. The C2V is the customer to vendor. And then you will get a V2C file in return that will be installed on that machine. And then you can come back over here and then press this button, select that file, browse, and then apply license and close. In some other areas, they would provide you the product key. The product key requires you to connect your machine to the internet, and that's very important. This machine, if it is not connected to the internet, then product key will not work. And the product key is a smaller alphanumeric key, which is about 20 characters less long. V2C is a pretty big file. So this is the file and this is the product key. So sometimes there's a confusion, and the people, they may pick up a V2C file and contents, put it in here. That does not work. So the product key would have alphanumeric characters. You put it in here and then just apply the license. Once it is connected, it will talk to our servers here. and then bring it back. If it's a valid license, then it will come back and install the license. That's how you could go back and forth with the license installation. And excuse me. So this was about license and Sigmaplot. These are important information I thought I should share with you. The other thing is that we have the help. We have the help contents. And this is all groups. You have the help, guides, sample files on the web, and license. And the guides, these are all PDF guides. You can go into and open them. They're the part of Sigmaplot, and they're installed with the Sigmaplot. You can open them up and you go to the user guide. But the contents, if I go over here, contents, I have it open. This one, I have it open right now. So I can go index, I can go here, contents, and go with the search, the topics, I can pick it up. Indexing, these are all topics provided in here, or you need to go search something, and that's how you can search it. Just select and list topic and pick up the topic. For example, this one, it tells you the corresponding topic. So let's go back to the main screen again. So there's also one important thing. You have the tutorial. If you click on it, tutorial, it gives you the tutorial, a walkthrough tutorial. It would have about 6 lessons. You can see right now over here, for example, how to create a bar chart. You click on it, then it walks you through the step-by-step how to do that. So how to pick up the data, and finally you get the graph. So this is how you scroll through and then find out curve fitting. That probably will do that later, and then I'll show you how to do some curve fitting regression, running the regression. The other thing I was requested here that I would go like kind of upside down. Somebody requested that I would show you the graphs, the nice graphs which Sigmaplot can create, and then you can see the sample files over here. The very first sample file is the graphs. If I click open it, it will go again on the top of it. So I can show you some nice graphs here. For example, this is the polar plot. You can see the polar plot here. If I double click on it, very nice polar plot. You can tell here. So, and then if you double click on it, on the plot, it will open the graph properties, and then it tells you, the various functionalities within the features. For example, scaling, what type of scaling you have, the log common or whatever you have over here. So there's various type of scalings. We'll scroll through that later, but just want to show you that everything you can manage or update or manipulate within the graph using the graph properties. Everything is in here under one option, or one, you can call it one organizer, where you can go and access everything, whatever it belongs to. For example, this plot one, and it has where it is from theta many r. This is the type of the data format used, and then where the theta one, which is the column one, you can see that, and R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, these are the corresponding columns you can see on the top. And of course, if I move my mouse away, then it fades out. You can see that right now it fades out, so you can see through. But if you bring your mouse back again on the top, then it will come back again. So that's how you can go through that. So this is one of the very nice graph. Now we have the there's a ribbon plot over here. You can see the ribbon plot, a nice one, ribbon plot, 3D, the ribbon plot. There is a very nice set of contour plot. I'm just double clicking on them. See, if I click on it, double click on them, that's a very nice contour graph, which you can do. And again, you can go double click on it, then go into the properties, and the contour fills, different colors. You can select scaling of that. If it's a linear scale, labels, you can play with the labels, details. So this is all within the graph properties. Okay, let's go to the other one with the color wheels. Well, and climograph, the people work with the weather forecast, so they would want to have this kind of graph, which is kind of climograph. It's average daily temperature range and percent, so every daily temperature range and precipitation at Oakland, California, that is, it was back in 1970 and 2000. So that's the data is collected, and that's how it is produced over here. I can grab it and then, enlarge it if I want to. From the corner, any corner, I can pick it up and enlarge it. Interesting. California map. You can see that over here. See the California map over here? So you can do the map also in Sigmaplot. So all you need to have a latitude, longitude data, and then corresponding other data set, and then that's how you can plot it. So there are various type of plots you can do in Sigmaplot. There's very nice, the engineers use the vector plot, and that's so X prime, Y prime, and that's the legend you have, the vector plot. There's a variable failure curve. This is sometimes the people, this is the cumulative percentage failure and the time you have failure time. So that's what it is. So various type of plots you would have it. We'll do some of them that we can plot them on our own later. This I want to show you the very nice graphs you can do that. There are various type of plots you can do. There's a piecewise linear fit radar plots also. So radar plot, let's also show some transparency in it. Radar line with the air bands. Forest plot. This is another set of forest passing, but can do that. So these are various type of plots which you can find over here under help and then graphs. That's where you can find them. Okay, so let's go back to, let me close this. I'm right clicking and closing. I can close the notebook. I don't want to save any changes because it has all the asterisks you can see over here. Whatever the graphs we have open, then if there was some change in it, then you can change it, but we don't want to do that, so we can close it. So everything is closed. So again, right click on the notebook and then close notebook. That's how you, this is a very simple summary information, who created the file, if it was modified, date, timestamp, who is the author, notebook, this kind of information. And you can edit them also by clicking on it. So that's about the, let's go back to the worksheet again. And I have minimized that worksheet. There was nothing in it. So these are the, on the top, you can see the title. There is a little gray area on the top. You can see these are the actually titles. And if I move my mouse on the top of it, the mouse comes upside down arrow with the little blobs in it. If I double click on it, then I can enter the title. So whatever the title I want to enter, this is my title, for example. And then if I enter it, so you can see it goes into a specific place. It's not like Excel. Excel has started the titles everywhere. You can put it in the column, in the rows, but there is no specific place. It has the specific place on the top. And if I move my mouse to the row on the side, you can see that, and I double click on it, I can enter the title of the row also. Row title. So that's how you can go and then enter the titles if you want to. So also, if you can go into that, see the worksheet over here. So this is also, you can see the title. and that's how you can enter the title, the row, and you can move it, and you can enter the row. So column rows, and you can move on next. It can. And also very interesting thing, for example, I have something over here. It's my title 2. So it is not an appropriate place, but if I select it, go to the title over here, I can go and then I can select this, or sorry, I have selected the whole column. I should have selected the row. So, and I can promote it. So you can see that it is promoted, and then it went to its actual title place. That's how you can promote it. And that's, again, it's found under the worksheet tab and titles over here under the cells group. So you have the titles over here. So that's how you can kind of, tiny manipulation done. You can do that within Sigmaplot. I can close that notebook and open a new one just to show you again. Press this main button, click new, and that's how it will open a new notebook. I'm looking at my big screen right now, so I'm not looking at the questions. So if there is any questions, so please let me know who is the moderator right now. Now let's go back to some of the some people may be interested in some kind of analysis, a statistical analysis, regression, all of that kind of stuff. So let's go and look at it. How do we do that? So if I click on help, I have the other group under the sample file. I have the statistics. So this is all statistics which you can perform within Sigmaplot, all sample files with the different format within provided. For example, you have a descriptive statistics. So there's the 4 groups right now. And if I want to go run the descriptive statistics, I can go to analysis tab. And this is all I have selected, but I can go over here and then describe the data, descriptive statistics, and it will bring up the dialog. And then the way I enter the data, I can either select from this drop-down list. I can select group A, group B, group C, wrong, it's incorrect. So I should have put it to group D instead. So if you did something wrong, you just don't worry about it. Just double click on it. It will be deselected. And then there's another way of selection. If I bring my mouse on the title, then I can click on it, then it will be selected. You can see right now over here. So I can let me deselect all of them. And if I can bring my mouse on the first column's title and drag it across and then let go, then it will select all of those columns. Now if I go finish, so it gives me the timestamps. It's give me the all columns. You can see that A, B, C, D, the size of the column, it's 14 data in each column. If there is any missing data, it tells you there are 2, column B and C has the missing data. You can tell right now these are 2 having the missing data, mean of these columns. Standard deviation, standard error, confidence interval of means, so on and so forth. You can see range, max, min, median, 25, 75% percentile values, skewness, kurtosis, and then all of that kind of statistics you can see over here under some of the squares. So this all statistics is provided. And then I have enlarged it. I can go back to this and minimize it back again. These are usual icons. You can see that for the Windows icons. So there's another thing I can tell you. For example, once you have selected whatever the test you're doing, for example, descriptive statistics, there's an option over here. You can click on it and then it will give you the options relative to that particular test. So there was statistics, there was all kind of, statistics were there. So let's say you don't want to show everything. You want to clear and then pick up the ones you just want to select and then click OK. Then it will give you, once you run the test, it will give you only that part. Let's clear it again and select all. So it will have all these selected. click OK, and run the test, and that's how it will run it back again for you. Okay, so now let's go to another important feature which Sigmaplot provides. It is for the people they don't have time or learning statistics or the rules of statistics, or how would you actually perform the statistics. So there is advisor also under analysis tab. You can see under analysis, I have the advisor. And advisor will ask, yep.
Mom, can I just interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
You've been showing us, like, as you also mentioned, some people may be interested in maybe like regressions, if it's possible to run regressions on Sigmaplot, and you've been showing us descriptive statistics so far. So maybe can you show us like if we can actually run regressions on Sigmaplot and how we can do it?
Yeah, we have the part of it. We'll do that, but
okay, you will get there. Sorry, yeah.
Everything is the sequence is coming. Yeah.
Okay,
I
sure.
told you a little while ago that we'll go run statistics, and we'll do that. So, advisor, this is what it is. It is for the people they don't know much about statistics, or they don't want to learn it. They don't care, but they still need to run statistics. And they need to perform some kind of statistics, but they don't know what to do, how to start. So that's what the advisor, you have it. If I click on advisor, and then you can see that advisor has the, what do you need to do? And it asks you a very simple question: describe your data with basic statistics, compare groups of treatments for significant differences, predict trend, and find correlation, fit a curve. This was the one regression also in it. Determine the sample size of experimental design, so on and so forth. These kind of all questions it will ask you, and then it will give you something. For example, if I go, let's say this time I go to the predict, fit or curve, I go click next, and then it asks me, okay, by how your data is measured, either by numeric values. Okay, then it'll ask me if fit a straight line to the data with errors, dependent variables only. Yes. Finish. Then it'll ask you, okay, we suggest you should run the linear regression. Well, we can do the linear regression. And then if I click on run, if I have the data in the background, then I can go and pick up the data and run that statistics linear regression. So let's go back again. I'll show you in a second, and we'll run that regression, linear regression, and other regressions, all type of regressions we can perform in Sigmaplot. So let's go back to advisor again. Let's say this time I want to compare the groups or treatment for significant differences. I can select that. And then it asks me the same question, but how your data is measured, if it is numeric or non-numeric. So numeric data, next. By the way, one thing I should mention it, you see on the worksheet, you can see their data is right justified. It means this data is numeric. Let me cancel it out. If I enter any other text in it, you can see that it is left justified. So the data is left justified. It is text data. So if I select and delete this column, just to show you that the data, if the data is right justified, that means that Sigmaplot is considering this data as numeric, a number data. If it is left justified, then it is non-numeric data. Now, so let's go back again, and then see that it's by numeric values. Okay, do you apply more than one treatment? Subject, I think we did skip something in the background. So compare, we are comparing the groups of treatments for significant differences. By numeric values, yes. Do you apply more than one treatment per subject? No. Next. Okay, how many groups of treatments are there? 2, 3, or 4? Let's say there are 3 or more. So, okay, so say we suggest that you should use one-way ANOVA. So if you have the 3 or more groups you're comparing, then you should run one-way ANOVA. And if you have just one treatment per group, But if you have only two groups, then you can compare it, then use the sample t-test, and that's what done unpaired t-test. You could go and then you can find also advisor will tell you if you do that. For example, we can go quickly by numeric values and then apply more than treatment. One treatment, no, I have. And then if you have just two groups, then it will suggest you have the t-test, you can run t-test. And then we have the t-test over here. Just some people, they would want to run the t-test, whatever they're comparing between the two. So there are two groups we have. We can go and run that. So analysis over here, either I can go click over here and then t-test, I can pick it up from here, or I can go under test and then I can compare two groups, t-test. It will bring up, so we can do quickly raw data. So it's a various data formats are provided: index, mean size, standard deviation, standard error. Okay, so I can just enlarge it to show you everything. So this is the three type of data provided. This is the exact same data, but the three different formats. The first is the raw data. Second one is the other format, which I mentioned it earlier. That was the size, mean, standard deviation in that case, and gender and response. This is your same data, but it's in the index format. So if I click on run again, so again, the options will give you for that particular one we went through in the descriptive statistics. So if I click on run, then I can go to raw data. For example, so 6 and 7 column are incorrectly selected because this is index data. I can click on data, column 1, column 2, and finish. And that's how I can get my report, t-test report. So it gives you the t-value, and then it gives you the conclusion also. Then also it gives you the two-tail p-value, so on and so forth. You can get the conclusion. The difference in the mean values of the two groups is greater than would be expected by chance. There is a statistically significant difference between the groups, so it is actually telling you. So you can prove something that if there is a data, you can tell from running this statistics, it tells you what kind of analysis you performed and what was your conclusion, and with the statistics values. Okay. The other thing I wanted to show you, once you have the report open, any report, for example, that was the descriptive statistics, but let's say that was the t-test. So if I right click on it and go to the results graph, this is one way accessing it, or under analysis, you can see create results graph over here, click on it. You can select one, or by pressing the control key, you can select most, all of them, or some. And then click OK. It will generate all of the graphs. This was the histogram to ask me. Yes, number of bins, automatically binning. So histogram, point plot, it did it for you. You didn't have to select the data. It did perform for you automatically, everything. It selected the data in the background, and then it performed the graphs for you. And if you need to export this graph, you can right click on it, go to export, and then you can pick up any type of graph. For example, JPEG, GIF, PNG, HTML, EPS, encapsulated PostScript, PDF, vector format, SVG, scalables, all kind of format. You would have it. For example, if I select this PDF, I can go to I pick up one of the customers over here. Let me see. Just call it any name, my PDF. Save. And then it will bring up the dialog. It will ask you, okay, it will give you the see that what is your final DPI. So you can change DPI. You can pick up all the way to 1200 DPI settings. And this is your final figure height and width. This is in inches. In Europe, of course, you use a different unit. And that's what we'll talk about in a second again, since it brought up. So I click OK, then it generates that. It's because a huge, big 600 DPI. So it is this is what it's doing right now. Okay, it has generated that. That was my PDF. And you can see that it has generated the PDF for you. We were over here. I was showing you that that graph was created and exported as a PDF also. So let's go back to one more important thing where you can set the different units. If I click on here on that big main Sigma button and then click on options. And over here, I can select the units. You can see that inches, millimeters, points, and that's how I can select that. So usually what happens by default when you install a version in a European or any other language, then it should have your regional setting would have selected it automatically for you. But just to show you again, under the option page, you can select it. Okay, so that was it. Now let's go back to, so I was just showing you, the statistics if you're interested in the statistics, or some people, they need that and how to do that and the different aspects of it. Now, so I showed you the let's go back to the regression that people are interested in running the regression. So let me go and then enter, let me close it and enter some data by hand. So just to show you how we can do that. So let me do, this is my X, this is my Y. I'll show you some other data set, but let's see if I do this one. Okay, the regression is over here in the analysis. You can see the regression wizard over here. If I select it, this regression wizard, then I have this regression equation, and this is the equation category, which is the polynomial, peak, sigmoidal, exponential, decay, all kind of equation. You see the bitmap on the left side of the equation on the top. It tells you, and then you can pick it up. So let's go to the sigmoidal equation, and let's see if I can pick up a 4-parameter sigmoidal equation in this case. And this is the equation on the left side. If I click on next, and then I have to select again my correct columns. So here is the variable. I can pick it up over here, the way I told you that. Either you can go from this drop-down list, X, and then Y, and you can make sure that you have corrected it. And then you have some options also over here. You can see the constraints. If you want to select the constraints, you can do so. Or the number of iterations, if you have to do so. For example, if I go increase the iteration, I can enter another number over here, 2000. And this is the tolerance. Some people, they live with this tolerance. This is very 1e minus 10, you can tell is it. Let's go with the -6 and then click OK. And then next, it has already fitted. So you can see the R-square value. Next, and then I can select this results. I want to put some results on the worksheet if I want to. I can select that predict. If predicted, it means the truncated part means empty, first empty, first empty. So first empty cell, it will put those values in there. And if I want to create a report, I can say that add equation to the notebook. I can do so also. So that will add the equation to the notebook. And then under report, I can also select a few things. For example, I can go to residuals, more statistics. I want to have predicted confidence interval. If I would want to do that, other, okay. And then go to next, and then create a results graph. Again, 95% confidence. Next, finish. Oh, it's not a good one. But anyway, I show you this thing is not very good graph, but maybe let's see if it is not picked up correct data. Okay, 95 column 10. That's how you can navigate also. So you can see how if the data was correctly picked up. So let's go back again and look at it, how the data was there. So these are the columns I have selected that I want to have those, first empty. These are the parameters of the 4-parameter sigmoidal curve, and then this is the residual. So, once you predict values, so that's how you can minus it from predicted values, and then from the actual values, that's what you get the result residuals. And this is your X column, which is the actual output of the column of the regression. The X, because it generates about 250 values. You can scroll down and see. Yeah, you can see that about 257 values that has generated for the X value, and so on for the Y values. Yes, column 1, column 10. So this is the equation, it put it in there. Let's say if you want to run it back again, and then it will do that. So let's pick up a different data set. I thought I should have, if I pick up a different equation, because sometimes the equation is not that appropriate for that data, but let's do that again. I'll keep on, let's see if it is the same equation. We can use it for the different, same data to use it for different equation. Go back again, regression wizard. All right, let's do that for the standard curves. And then again, 4-parameter logistic. Let's see if it is working. Because I have picked up. Okay, this is the X. This is the Y data. Next. Okay, it's also next. It's already have selected predicted value. So what will happen? On the right side, it will select the columns, whatever the, and then whatever the empty columns, and then create a report next. And then let's see what happens here. Oh, that's much better. So this is the report generated over here. You can see, so we use the same data for this equation. So it produced the min-max EC50 hill slope, and it fitted very nicely. The blue area is the confidence, 95% confidence band, and red area is the 95% prediction band. So exactly using the same data, here it tells you the different statistics also. And this is the tells you the variable used here, column 1, column 2, the equation, the weights. I mean, this is not required right now because we didn't use any of those things in it, but it just listed because this is the part of the equation in here. If you want to fit it with the weights and reciprocal weights or y-square values, you can also go back again and then select it under the regression. Let me quickly show you that. If you click on next, then I just want to show you if you want to modify the same equation, you can do that. If you select this equation, just save as, and just put, sorry, not here, just go to next, pick up the equation, and here you want to put save as. Damn, it's not giving me that. This is the main library, what we're talking about, the standard. But once you select the equation, you should allow to click new, and then I don't want to do that. I just want to select the save option. Actually, my Sigmaplot is behaving a little differently. I can show you if it is in version 15, it is working just fine. This particular on my machine, by the way, I've tested it, because there's another thing I wanted to show you. This is not working. You can see on the right here, there in this area, there's no zoom control. And then if I close this, I can just show you, just to show you it is not behaving the way I wanted to work it. It is particularly on my machine, but okay, just I want to make sure that I'm shared. Let me show you this thing, version 15. So don't lose your belief, because this is the one I wanted to show you. So this is the my machine. It is working on all other machines. And then this is not the way it was behaving, the way I wanted to behave it. Let me show you quickly here. Because we're working a patch, and the patch was installed, and that's what, anyway, let's go back to again. Let me pick up some data from here. Okay, some macro data. Let's put it something over here. Yes, this one. I can enlarge the screen. The reason I wanted to show you, to see this part, it was missing in my other, and these are all controls, they were missing in it, the one which I was using before. That's what I was showing you 15, but 16 works on the other machine. Okay, there was something I noticed just before this webinar, and I could not, because I had to show you other things as well. I'll show you in a second. Okay, let's go back to, again, the tools, and I wanted to show you standard curves also. You can pick it up from here. This is the 4-parameter logistic. You can pick it up. And okay, so you have the standard curve, the equation here. So if I select this, click OK. Okay, you see that you have negative X data. Please check your data. So this is also, I wanted to show you that you have the log concentration is the negative values over here, which is not allowed. But here, if I get the log format of the X data, if I select this part, then it should work. And by the way, I can go some unknown values. If I have the predicted values, if I can select this, and this is the unknown column, it's already selected what it is. That I have the data, which has the replicates as well. You have the 3 replicates, standard 1, 2, and 3, and I can select that. I have the replicates, and what is the last replicate column? I need to mention it, it's the 3rd column. And these are some unknowns values. From the replicates, I want to predict what would be the concentration, and that's what I want to select over here. That's why I selected unknowns, and this is the X values, and click OK. Now it generates the data and the graph. You can see very nice graph it has generated for you, standard curve, and this is the same logistic regression. We did that, and this is the report. So the R-square values, the minimum, maximum values, so on and so forth. The other thing I wanted to show you that, if I wanted to use this slide bar, I could use it. And that's what I couldn't find it in 16 somehow in this particular machine. So just I wanted to show you some difference, but I'm not having it. But right now, let's go back and then close this. Go back and open Sigmaplot 16. And you can see that that part control is missing over here. I mean, I tried uninstalling, reinstalling, but I have to still check what's happening here. Anyway, let's go back. The other things I wanted to show you, because we kind of lost track. Yep, the regression, Nolden regression went through, and the other thing I wanted to show you about, yeah, what's new in Sigmaplot 16 as compared to 15? What we have it in 16, but we don't have in 15, and that's what we will talk about. I can click on Help again, and I can click on Macro Data. This is my sample data. And if I click on, again, Tools over here, and this violin plot, this is the function you don't find in Sigmaplot 15. And I can keep, the graph dimension. This is usual 3 by 5, 3.5 by 5, and then the edge I want to select or fill colors. Let's keep it as default right now, and then click OK. And here's the graph. So very nice violin plot over here. Okay, the other thing, for example, I'm missing that controls. I cannot show you enlarge it, but I can right click on here. I can click on the graph. Okay, this Sigmaplot 16, my version is surprising me because I should have a zoom control over here. I couldn't find it in here. So that something is messing up on this machine, particularly one, but 15 works just fine. So does 16 on the other machine, no problem. So the zoom control will, the one I showed you earlier in version 15, you can scroll it to the right, or you can change the size of it, and that's how you can enlarge the graph. You can grab it over here. You can do that also. Yeah, you can see that you can enlarge the graph over here by selecting it from the corners. Let's do the other one. This is the UK census. This is the butterfly plot. We don't have in Sigmaplot 15, but this is one in 16. We can do that. And it already knows your first column, second column is this is where you're comparing, because you have the butterfly with the two wings. On the one wing is on the left, or one, and then you compare those two wings. If there is a size difference, or just compare, right, visualize this whole data instead of looking at each numbers. You can just look at the wings, and then you can tell where the difference is. And if you click OK, and that's how you get that. You can tell right now over here, this is kind of, by looking at the graph, that's what the graph means. You don't have to actually look at the numbers, but look at the figure, and then tell if it is a different as compared to before or not. So let's do it one more time. Just wanted to show you some other things. For example, I wanted to use a different scale, different color scheme. I can select it, black edges, if I want to keep it or not. Let's say keep it, and then click OK, and then it should come up with like that. So there are different options you can explore down and look at it also. So this is one thing. Another thing, and I already showed you the bands. You saw that the bands when we did the standard curves equation, when we fitted there was a color band. So that's what the new in Sigmaplot 16. The other thing is that let's go back to the help, and if I can go to graphs, I can just need to pick up a different data. Let's close this data. I just want to pick up this. For example, this one. Yep. So this is my data. I can go and, by the way, you can select the data by clicking on this side. On the on the left top corner of the worksheet, and then right click copy. And should you need to paste it over here anywhere, you can right click paste. It will be pasted. This is how you can copy and paste the data from other things. For example, Excel, you can copy and paste from. And you can copy and paste from text data. You can also import the data by selecting, for example, if I want to import the data starting from here, I can select this cell. I can click on Sigma button and click File Import. And then I can see this Excel or any other file format. I can pick it up, plain text, comma, XS, SPSS, Lotus. These are very old files, but still SAS, Minitab, Exxon binary. Some people work with those electronic files, ABF, Exxon binary files, so you can pick it up, those files, and then select it and then click import. So that's how you can import the data. We'll do in a second. We are short in time, but we'll try to do that. So the other thing I wanted to show you, the other feature, which is in Sigmaplot 16. So let's create a graph, and I want to create multiple scatter with error bars, and I have worksheet columns. My data is all in worksheet, so that's why I have X many Y data. So let's choose X, and this is my, for example, Y column. This is my error column. This is another Y column. This is the error column. There are various columns. I can pick it up from them and click finish, and I have this graph. You can see that nice graph created. So if I double click on it, I can go to the area fills, and I can select the area fills again under, do it again, double click. Area fills, and on the right side, if I can, the direction, I can select the band. See, this is the band I selected, and see what happens on the background. So this is the bands you can select, and that's the part of Sigmaplot 16. So let's do quickly if we can do in the quick import. I'm just going to create a new file. As I told you that I press on the main Sigma button and new, and click OK. I can close that. I can select the file, and I can go click File and Import. File Import, and I have somewhere I have the file. Let's say if I can oops, Alfasoft. Okay, so this is the file type. I have a different file type. I don't see that. I can also use the asterisk dot asterisk and click enter. It will show me all of the files. Or I could go and then pick up the file from, for example, like this. So it shows me the txt file. Select, click open, then it opens up the dialog, and then it gives you the different formats. It's a tab delimited data, and you can see the different columns. I can just click import, and it has imported the data. Okay, so now let's go and then create a very nice graph. We have a couple of minutes left, and then I can go create graph. Let's do a contour chart, and let's do the color contour. So I clicked on the contour and the color contour, and this is the XYZ triplet data. I can select that, click X here, Y here, and then C here, and finish. Here we get a nice graph. You can see that. So you can go always, can the color fills, you can different scheme, you can select it, RD, for example, or, Carnival or any other color scheme you can select. Let's do quickly the 3D, not the scatter. I want to do the mesh plot, 3D mesh plot. And this is again my XYZ triplet data. I can deselect because it was incorrectly selected. I can drag my mouse over here from here to here and selected 1, 2, 3 columns, click finish. And that's a very nice graph for the, you can tell, 3D plot, and then you can go to the rotation, you can rotate it the way you want to, and then it rotates. You can go all the way upside down, you can look at it. Same thing, you can play around with it, and then you can also you can change the color scheme. You can click on color scheme and pick up a different one, RD, Hemley, whatever. So it changes the color scheme also. So most of that we have covered. One last minute, I wanted to show you one more thing. It's the heat map. Okay, the heat map is we have under the tools, and this is our heat map. I can select it, and then I can show you this is my label column is column 1. And then I have the row label is my column 2. And then my first data column is column 3. And the last data column is column 5. And I can select the color scheme if I have it in the worksheet, but I can just click OK, just use the default below. And this is my heat map. So, all right, so we have concluded. This is how you can do the graphs and regression, various type of regressions, and then statistics should you need to run it, ANOVAs, t-tests, manipulate the worksheet. Maybe we didn't cover all of that stuff, but sorry for my fumble. It was something has to do with this particular machine. So if you would go and download the trial version, you will see exactly the way what I showed you in version 15. You can see all of those controls which are missing, and the few things which didn't behave the way it's supposed to behave, it didn't behave. So it will behave the same as I was expecting. So that's the conclusion. So please put through any questions. Let me stop sharing.
Yes, thank you, Mohammed. That was a great presentation. So we do have some questions, but I think we will have to
send me an email. Yeah.
Yes, something like that. Because
if there's some quick verbal, we can do it quickly if 1 or 2 minutes allow.
Mehmet, is there anything quick
Let's cover quickly. I think what we can quickly cover right now is the question of availability for different operating systems. Is it can it be used on Windows? So it's only
but on a Mac you need to use emulator Parallels. The people are using it on Parallels. They can install Parallels with Windows on it, and that's how they can use it on Mac. There is I'll send you the link how to do that. It's on our website.
Okay, that's good to know. That's useful knowledge. And one other thing that we can quickly cover right now is like just with quick words, just with like short explanation. How would you tell, like, let's say I'm an engineer who is using Excel to visualize my data. What would be the advantage of moving to Sigmaplot over Excel?
You can see that a lot of the graphs which are done the way I showed you, the violin plot. I haven't seen the violin plot in Excel. Have you seen anybody?
No, it's also, I think it's doable in Excel, but it would take so much time, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then you see that you just did 3 clicks. The same thing you can do so easily, the heat map. And same thing you can do the mesh plots and contour charts, and the way you can manipulate. You see, the good part about it is not that it's creating the graph. You can manipulate it. You can change a lot of things so quickly using the graph properties. And not only that, you can just right click and export. Just pick up export, and then that's how you can just export the graph. the way I showed you, exported the graph, and then you can use different DPI settings. Look at the DPI, 1200 DPI. You cannot do in Excel. So this kind of things, a lot of advantage you have in Sigmaplot, and I couldn't show you a lot of manipulation. Under analysis, you can do the quick transforms, so you can do manipulation the data, select the data, for example, and then do something. Under analysis tab, you can see. I'm not sharing my screen right now, but under analysis, you can see the quick transform. This is under transform, user-defined transforms. So that's how you can manipulate your data. There are some statistics built in transform in it. So, you can convert back and forth to log or whatever you want to do, anti-logs, or you can create this hyper, signage, hyper sign values, cosine values, or you name it. A lot of scientific data you can convert back and forth.
Thank you, Mohammed. I think we need to wrap it up. Thank you for the great presentation.
Thank you.
And if the audience has more questions, they can always reach out at info@alfasoft.com, and then we would just forward your questions to Mohammed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.